Okay, hello everyone. Welcome again in our class, the 13th class, and now it's about one-dimensional, one-phase reservoir simulation. Yeah, one-dimensional, 1D, one-phase reservoir simulation. Okay, the term single phase applies to any system with only one phase present in the reservoir. In some cases, it may also apply where two phases are present in the reservoir. If one of the phases is immobile and no mass exchange take place between the fluid. Okay, so the first thing is one phase, a single phase. We can also have two phase, but one phase is immobile, cannot move. Ya, dua fasa tapi satu tidak bisa bergerak. Okay. This is normally the case where immobile water is present with oil or with gas in the reservoir. So immobile water, for example, is the Conat water, right? Conat water cannot move. So we have two phase, oil or gas, and one Conat phase, then it's also one phase. Itu tetap kita anggap sebagai sistem satu fasa. Okay, by regarding the immobile water as a fixed part of the pores, it can be accounted for by reducing porosity and modifying rock compressibility correspondingly. So Conat water, Conat water is included in the pores. Yeah, so it is a part of the rock. Ya, jadi Conat water bisa kita anggap sebagai a part of the rock. Okay. Normally, in one-phase reservoir simulation, we will deal with one of the following system. For example, one-phase gas, or one-phase water, or one-phase oil. Before proceeding to the flow equation, we will briefly define the fluid models for the three systems. So we have gas, water, oil. Okay. First, with one phase gas. The gas must be single phase in the reservoir, which means that the crossing of the dew point line is not permitted in order to avoid condensate fallout in the pores. So you know about this one, phase envelope. Yeah. For example, here we have liquid and somewhere we have critical point. Yeah. And let's say here, this is the boundary. Here we have gas. And this is inside the dome, we have liquid plus gas. So mixture. Jadi di dalam kubah, we have mixture, liquid and gas. Here we have liquid and there we have gas. So if we have one phase gas system in our reservoir, it means that we are in this zone. Ya, kita ada di dalam zona tekanan temperatur di yang kanan. Ya, jadi kita in the gas zone, in the gas phase zone. That's if we want to have one phase system, one phase gas system. Fluid behavior is governed by black oil fluid model. So you know we have black oil model or compositional model. If we have compositional model, then you have to mention all the components and the composition. But if you have black oil model, it is much simpler. You just need to define your fluid with their specific gravity. Ya. Jadi kalau we have two system, kita punya dua sistem cara how we model the reservoir. First is compositional. Ya, compositional modeling itu detail. Kita punya komponen, kita punya composition. We have methane, ethane, propane, butane, and so on and so forth. With the composition. Ya, itu kalau kita compositional modeling. Ya, ada sendiri softwarenya. Tapi kita juga bisa yang lebih simplify itu dengan black oil model. Dengan black oil model kita tidak perlu menjabarkan methane, ethane, propane, and so on and so forth. We just need to say oil specific gravity, gas specific gravity, water specific gravity. Now we start with simpler one, so we use black oil model. So remember we have density of gas, yeah, it's constant divided by the formation volume factor of gas. Yeah, so it's very simple. And then we can also have one phase water, for example, in, let's say, in aquifer. Yeah, we have one phase water in aquifer. One phase water, which strictly speaking means that the reservoir pressure is higher than the saturation pressure of the water in case gas is dissolved in it and has density described by this one. So rho Ws divided by water formation volume factor. So one phase water, we only have water. Yeah. So we have like this one, this is water. And the reservoir pressure is higher than the saturation pressure. It means gas will be dissolved inside the water. So we only have one phase, water. Gas dissolved, terlarut di dalam water. Jadi kita hanya punya satu fasa. Ya, gas is not free, gas is dissolved in the water. That's if we have one phase water system in our simulation. In order for the oil to be single phase in the reservoir, now it's about water, it's about oil, yeah. In order for the oil to be single phase in the reservoir, it must be undersaturated, so above the bubble point pressure. Yeah, above bubble point pressure, gas will be dissolved inside the oil. Yeah, gas will be dissolved in the oil, so we only have one phase oil. Yeah, so maybe I should correct it with one phase oil. Yeah, if you want to have satu fasa, single phase of oil in your reservoir, then you must have reservoir pressure higher than the bubble point pressure. So that if you have this one oil, gas will be dissolved inside your oil. If not, gas will be liberated from the oil and you will have two phase, oil and gas. In the black oil fluid model, oil is described here. So density of oil is density of oil at surface condition plus gas density surface condition multiplied by RS, yeah, solution gas ratio divided by oil formation volume factor. For undersaturated oil, yeah, RS is constant and the oil density may be written by this one. So it's density and we have constant, yeah, because the numerator constant divided by oil formation volume factor. Ya, so ini cara untuk kita mendescribe one phase oil system for our reservoir model. General form. Thus, therefore, for all three fluid system, water, gas, oil, one phase density may be expressed by this one. So it density constant divided by formation volume factor. Yeah, density is constant divided by formation volume factor. This is for gas, for water, and for oil, for one phase system. If you have multi-phase system, then of course it's not constant. Okay, but we will start simple. We will start from a very simple model. So yeah, we can use one phase system, which is the model we are going to use for the fluid description in the following single phase flow equation. Okay, now we start discussing about flow equation. We have previously derived the continuity equation for one phase, one-dimensional system of constant cross-sectional area to be like this one. Yeah, so we talk about this in maybe in this chapter, yeah, this one, class 10, lecture 10. So if we have rock slab like this one, and then we have one direction of fluid flow, and then we perform discretization and we get the control volume, yeah, here this one, the control volume CV, and we derive the continuity equation, we get this one, minus ddx density multiplied by velocity equals to ddt porosity multiplied by density. This is for the continuity equation. And the conservation of momentum for low velocity flow in porous material is assumed to be described by the semi-empirical Darcy equation, which for one-dimensional horizontal flow is this one, yeah, this Darcy equation. Okay, Darcy equation for one-dimensional. So we have this one, the velocity equals to minus permeability divided by viscosity multiplied by the pressure gradient, dP dx. And then we have the constitutive equation for fluid. The density is constant divided by the formation volume factor. Dan sekarang kita mau substitusi. And substituting the Darcy equation and the fluid equation into the continuity equation, and including a source and sink term, we obtain the partial differential equation that describes this one, the single phase flow in a one-dimensional porous medium. So you see we have this one, minus ddx, yeah, minus this one ddx, and then velocity, we substitute velocity using this Darcy equation. Yeah. So we have replacing u, we have k divided by viscosity multiplied by formation volume factor from this one, yeah, density. Yeah. We replace also the density here. Okay, we replace density and u, so we have this one. Okay, or maybe I can wait a minute. Okay, so we have minus ddx dx open parenthesis, but we have rho multiplied by u. We use this one, constant divided by b, constant divided by b. And then for the velocity, we use this one, minus k divided by u dp dx, dp dx. Okay, and then we have ddt, ddt porosity, and then we have constant, because now we will replace also the density divided by b, right? And then, yeah, it is mentioned that and including a source or sink term. Okay, so first we erase this one, negative, because minus multiplied by minus, so it's positive. So we have ddx constant, all right, can be eliminated because we have constant on the left and on the right. So we have k viscosity and then formation volume factor, and then we have dp dx, Okay, and then on the right we have d dt. There we have porosity, and then we have formation volume factor. Okay, that's very simple, but now we insert source or sink. So I put minus Q here. That's why we have here minus Q, because that's the source or sink term. Okay, so this is our single phase flow, one-dimensional flow equation. That's very important. Yeah. Okay, so we have, this is a very, very important equation for single phase fluid in one-dimensional system. And we have term on the left, di kiri, and on the right. The left-hand side of the equation describes the fluid flow in the reservoir, right? So this one describes the fluid flow. Fluid flow. And injection and production. Yeah, here, injection or production. Yeah. So the left, kiri, describes fluid flow, aliran fluida on the reservoir. While the right-hand side represent storage, penyimpanan, penampungan, which include compressibility of rock and fluid. Okay, fluid flow on the left we have permeability and viscosity, describes fluid flow, but on the right we have storage because we have here porosity. Yeah, so this equation describes the performance, fluid flow performance inside our reservoir. Oke, jadi persamaan ini yang mendeskripsikan aliran fluida serta kapasitas penampungan fluida yang ada dalam reservoir kita. Jadi ini cukup menggambarkan reservoir kita itu seperti apa, persamaan matematika ini. In order to bring the right-hand side of the equation on a form with pressure as a primary variable, we will rearrange the term before proceeding to the numerical simulation. So, I want to express the right-hand side, RHS, RHS. I want to describe it as a function of pressure. So I want to check the pressure dependence of the right-hand side term. Nah, saya ingin mendeskripsikan, saya ingin mengekspresikan, menyatakan bahwa bagian kanan ini itu adalah fungsi dari tekanan. Oke, jadi baik di kiri maupun di kanan saya punya tekanan ya, karena di kiri saya sudah punya tekanan di sini, tapi yang kanan belum. Ya, so I have pressure term on the left, but I want to express the right hand side also as a function of pressure. Okay, so we will play with calculus again. Okay, so I want to express the right hand side as a function of pressure. So I will play with calculus, start with chain rule. Okay, so d dt, porosity divided by B, I can take out the B, so I have 1 per B multiplied by d por dt. Okay, so I keep the B constant. That's for the first part, for this part. And then for this part, I assume porosity constant, so porosity can go out here, porosity, but 1 per B will be variable. Okay, will change as per pressure, for example. So I have porosity multiplied by this one divided by dt. So that's the chain rule. And then we continue. We will now make use of the compressibility definition for porosity dependency of pressure at constant temperature. So we will remember ya, kita akan mengingat lagi. We have this equation for raw compressibility, it's actually 1 divided by porosity multiplied by d por per dp. Yeah, that's the definition of raw compressibility. So if I rearrange, d por per dp equals to porosity multiplied by CR. Ya, kalau saya mengubah-ubah sehingga d por turunan dari porosity as a function of dp equals to porosity multiplied dikali dengan rho compressibility. Okay, and we remember because we have here we have B, so I want to express B first by using density. Yeah, so density equals to something constant divided by formation volume factor. Okay, now I will expand. The right hand side may be written like this one. So first d dt porosity divided by formation volume factor. Now I use chain rule. I get 1 per B d4 per dt plus porosity plus this one. I get this one. And then I want to change d4 dt, okay, using this, yeah, this method, yeah. So I keep 1 per B, but I change d4 dt to be like this one. So d4 dp multiplied by dp dt. Yeah, that's calculus. And then for this one, I get this one. So porosity multiplied by d1 per b per dp multiplied by dp dt. So I get this one. And then remember that d for dp is porosity multiplied by cr. So I can change this one to be like this one. So B tetap di bawah on the denominator, but D for dP can be replaced by porosity multiplied by CR. This one can be replaced by this one. And then dP dt can be maintained. So I have dP dt here. And then for this one, you go to this side, you don't change anything. Yeah. You maintain, you keep this one. So porosity multiplied by D1 per B divided by dP dt. Okay, so that's just calculus. It's not very difficult. Therefore, we have flow equation like this. Yeah. So starting from here, ddx, K per mu formation volume factor dP dx minus Q. Yeah, we keep that one. The left-hand side does not change. Right-hand side, we use this expansion. So we have, yeah, porosity. Yeah, because we have porosity here and porosity here. So porosity can be put outside. And then you have parenthesis dalam kurung CR per B plus D 1 per B dP. Okay, multiplied by dP dt. Okay. So that's the partial differential form of single phase flow equation. And then we continue. Recall that the fluid compressibility may be defined in terms of formation volume factor. So compressibility of the fluid is formation volume factor multiplied by D1 per B per dP. Okay, so that's the definition of fluid compressibility. So we can change again, we can rewrite again this equation to be, yeah, we kept the left hand side, but we can change this D1 per B per dP, we can change that. Okay, so we have porosity divided by B, CR plus CF, fluid compressibility, multiplied by dP per dt, or if you remember that CR plus CF equals to total compressibility, so we can rewrite this term to be like this one. Porosity multiplied by total compressibility divided by formation volume factor multiplied by dP dt. Okay? So we can rewrite again our 1D, one phase fluid flow equation. So ddx multiplied by K per viscosity multiplied by formation volume factor multiplied by dpdx pressure gradient minus this one production or injection term equals to porosity divided by formation volume factor multiplied by total compressibility multiplied by dpdt. Okay, so this is our one-dimensional, one-phase fluid flow equation. However, normally it is more convenient to use the first form since fluid compressibility not necessarily is constant. And since formation volume factor versus pressure data is standard input to reservoir simulator. Okay? So we can use this one. Okay? Now, we will now use the discretization formula derived previously to transform our partial differential equation to difference form. Yeah. So this one is still in partial differential equation. Okay. Partial differential equation because we have d dx. And here we have d dt. So this is our one-dimensional, one-phase fluid flow equation, but still in partial differential form. And now we want to discretize. We want to convert it to numerical approach. Ya, kita mau pakai numerical approach. Jadi kita akan mendiskretisasi. Ya, we will discretize and we will use difference form of the flow equation. So we change from differential equation to be discretized formula. Yeah. For convenience, we will now drop the time index for unknown pressure so that if no time index is specified, T plus delta T is implied. Ya, jadi semua indeks-indeks waktu itu akan kita drop supaya penulisannya lebih simple. Okay, we will drop the time index for unknown pressure. Okay, remember again, this is our starting point. This is our one-dimensional, one-phase fluid flow equation, but still in PDE, partial differential equation. I want to change it to discretized. Yeah, I want to change it to discretized form or difference form. Yeah, here, difference form. Okay, we will break the equation into two parts, the left-hand side and the right-hand side. Okay, so again, this one, starting point, yeah, starting point. Now we start from the left-hand side, this left-hand side. So it go there. We have ddx of K per viscosity formation volume factor dpdx. And it is like this form. Jadi polanya itu seperti pola ini. So ddx, and then we have dpdx, but we also have fx. So in other words, fx equals to K per mu b. That's fx. Yeah, the form is quite the same. And then we know, yeah, we know that ddx, fx, dpdx can be written using difference form to be like this one. Notice that the order is delta x. So the order is quite big. The error is quite big. Yeah, you know already, using discretized approach, we get this one. ddx, fx, dpdx is 2 fx at I plus 1.5 multiplied by something, something, something like this one. Yeah, so that's the numerical form of this partial differential equation. Ya, jadi kita punya dengan metode difference form ya. kita bisa mengubah bentuk kalkulus ini di PDX menjadi bentuk yang kanan. Ya, the left hand side is quite difficult to calculate because it's partial differential equation. But the right hand side, it's simple. Our computer can calculate the right hand side because it's just plus, minus, divided, multiply. Ya, seperti yang sudah saya sampaikan sebelum-sebelumnya bahwa komputer akan lebih comfortable untuk menghitung plus, minus, divided by, multiply. Ya, tambah, kali, bagi, kurang, komputer lebih suka sistem perhitungan, operasi perhitungan yang tambah, bagi, kali, bagi dibandingkan yang sisi kiri yaitu differential equation. Ya, so we change from analytical approach, the left hand side, the partial differential equation, to the numerical approach, difference form, finite difference form, the right hand side, because it's more comfortable for the computer to do the operation involving this finite difference approach. Okay, so now we insert K divided by viscosity and multiplied by formation volume factor. We just replace the fx, replace this fx. We replace that fx is k divided by mu b, and we get this form. So it's quite simple, but still error the order of delta x. Okay, so it's quite easy. We just transform. We can just replace fx with k per mu b, and we shall now define transmissibility as being the coefficient in front of the pressure difference appearing in the approximation above. So this is the analytical, the exact value, the left hand side, and the right hand side is the finite difference, the approximation. Yang kiri itu akurat, eksak, yang kanan itu aproksimasi. Makanya that's why we have error, because it's approximation. And now coefficient in front of the pressure, we will define it as transmissibility. So here we have our transmissibility.